In recent years, there has been a considerable shift in the perspective that it is socially acceptable for a younger man to date an older woman. Maybe you've been giving some serious thought to the possibility of dating an older woman who has feelings for you. It's possible that you have feelings for a certain lady. In other words, quite a little older than the women you are familiar with. This book is for you if you have ever had an interest in dating someone older, are currently in such a relationship, and are looking for some advice on how to make it work better for you. Today we are going to talk about the problems that can arise when dating an older woman. With any luck, we'll be able to provide you an impartial evaluation of. In a circumstance such as this one, it is essential to take into account both of the relevant perspectives. That should help you choose whether or not it is a good idea to date a lady who is several decades your senior, or whether or not it is preferable for you to stick to dating women who are closer to your own age. A lot of people have put pen to paper and written movingly about how love has changed their lives and what it means to them. These testimonies naturally stimulate contemplation on the ways in which love impacts each and every one of us in our own unique ways. In our haste to find the one, we could fail to see warning signs and end up putting ourselves in harm's way. When you date an older woman, you should prepare yourself for an unpleasant and unavoidable breakup. There are a variety of red flags that can serve as an indication that it is time to stop a relationship. You need to keep a sharp eye out for these potential red flags. Varying in terms of the significance they play in a person's life because you are younger than his girlfriend, it goes to reason that the two of you are at different places in your lives and jobs. Since his girlfriend is older than you, this is especially true. At that point, they may be open to the possibility of a relationship of a comparable sort, even if it does not quite live up to the standards that you have set for it. If you're not choosy, a bucket of this rum will do the trick, but in the long run it won't be beneficial to you. There is always going to be a difference between two things in life. Because of the age gap between you two, you should be more accepting of her challenges, and you should show the same consideration for her as you would for anyone else. But if they are unable to solve their problems and continue to blame you for them, it is time to come to terms with the fact that it is not your fault. It is now necessary to jettison this vessel. Your willingness to keep the peace and quiet is always greatly appreciated. After a few more pushes, they continue to vanish. Both the guy and the woman who are looking for a spouse have similar goals. The man wants a lady to love and protect, and the woman wants to feel safe with her potential companion. If the woman you're seeing suddenly vanishes for long stretches of time, especially at times when you need her the most, it's possible that she'll only show up again when it's convenient for her. This may be a symptom of her obvious disinterest and scorn in the situation when it is convenient for her to behave in this manner. Ignore the fact that my friend is constantly moving away from you. She will only pay attention to you if you truly require her assistance. It's possible that the woman you've been looking forward to spending time with is actually the type of person who engages in mind games for no apparent reason at all. It is up to you to keep things interesting, whatever the toll it takes on your sanity, as this implies you will be required to actively chase her attention, whether to have an honest dialogue with them or to cajole them. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that she is joking about with you in an attempt to get a chuckle. Now that it's over, it's time for someone to come and save you. It is never simple to stop a relationship, but it is essential to recognize when it is required to do so in order to protect yourself, your interests, and your mental health by doing so. You should never ignore warning flags or put the requirements of other people ahead of your own. It's inevitable that people will create judgments about you. Because you're dating an older woman, you might expect some people to judge you more harshly. The vast majority of people will simply be pleased for you, but you've also found someone who can actually make you happy, make you feel unique, and give you a lot of fun. This person can do all of these things for you. However, there will never be a shortage of people who argue that age is about a great deal more than that. They are occasionally forced to admit it openly since the problem is so serious. It's possible that they talk about you and your spouse in hushed tones amongst themselves, or even behind your back. It is not always possible to anticipate the occurrence of something like this. It is possible for it to come from people who aren't supposed to be involved with your life, such as complete strangers, but it is also possible for it to come from people who are closest to you, such as complete strangers. The fact that you and the woman you're seeing are of different ages will be a significant factor in this case. If you look closely, or even just somewhat closely, you can tell that people don't have a lot to say because of their ages. Persons have a tendency to view as normal a connection between two people where the age difference is less than 7 years. Dissatisfaction first appears after 7 years, at the point where 1 year has passed. It is not unusual for the beginning timings of others to differ from your own. It's common knowledge that you and your partner are probably in various stages of life at this point in time. Older women are simply defined as any females who are older than the person doing the speaking. This indicates that the challenges they are going through will not be the same challenges you are going through at this point in your life. For instance, if there is a significant age gap between you and another individual, they may be concerned about the impact that it will have on their overall health. The priorities of a woman when she is 30 years old are significantly different from those of a woman when she is 20 years old, and even from those of a woman when she is 40 or 50 years old. They are in the same situation professionally and monetarily. They are in the same position. When a woman is in her 40s, concerns about her retirement savings become one of her primary sources of stress, when in her 20s, she may not have given any thought to the topic at all. We could continue to give instances, but I think you understand the point. The idea is that sooner rather than later, you can find yourself in a situation where you have to solve straightforward issues on your own. When faced with challenges that would ordinarily affect someone several years older than you may find that you need to develop much more quickly than you had anticipated. There is a possibility that women of a certain age are lugging about some unnecessary baggage. As we go through life, almost all of us end up carrying around a few extra pounds. The things that we lug around with us differ from one individual to the next. Accept the fact that you are an adult woman and make peace with that fact. Possible negative connotations exist. It's possible that she's had trouble in the past with her marriage, whether it was with her children or a previous lover. Does that make you think she's less great than you did before? We acknowledge that not everyone will agree with us, but we maintain that the things that happened in your past have contributed to the person you are now. She would be extremely dissimilar to you in many ways. It would be interesting to see what turns up in her life if she didn't have to deal with the same challenges that she had. In light of this, what exactly are you implying by saying that you accept her baggage? If you want to date an older woman, you need to be able to strike up a conversation with any woman who is prepared to put up with your baggage. Assuming that you are able to deal with her baggage, this does not mean that you must immediately become a slave to her children or engage in some other abnormal behavior. If you intend to start a family, you should be prepared for any challenges. To put it another way, a woman's reproductive system has a limited capacity for the production of babies during the course of her lifetime. In the event that you and your significant other have plans to start a family, this can be a difficulty, depending on how much older the lady is than you are. A woman who has reached the age of 30 or older and whose fertility has begun to fall having children later in life poses a variety of dangers to a woman's health that could be detrimental if she does not take precautions. You won't have to be concerned about this at all if you go with a woman who is younger and has a higher fertility rate. It's possible that what she wants is more than what you can provide her at this time. We are not trying to be rude by implying that you are not as fantastic as you claim to be. What we are arguing is not that there aren't any older women who would enjoy dating a younger man. Rather, what we are arguing is that there are mature women who would enjoy dating a younger man. However, women will never stop looking for the knowledge and experience that can only come from a male. Who among the women in the same age range will they be able to date? Although at first glance this seems to include a lot of very good physical chemistry, the reality is that it makes it difficult to have any type of meaningful conversation on the topic. My definition of a close connection does not include something like that. Should you make an effort to transform into a different person if this occurs to you? You seem to have completely lost sight of the incredible good fortune you possess and that you are still a young and healthy human being, which is one of the most astounding aspects about you. As you can see, dating an older woman requires careful consideration owing to the various aspects of yourself that could be abandoned for a younger spouse. This is something that you should keep in mind if you decide to pursue an older lady as a romantic interest. If you want my opinion, the onus of proving that the potential benefits outweigh the potential drawbacks is firmly on your shoulders. We are unable to offer such counsel because of the singular character of each situation. You can always come to this channel for individualized guidance that is based on your specific questions and needs. Before moving forward with a relationship with an older lady, you should give great consideration to all of the unfavorable factors that I covered in the video before making any decisions. Age is more than just a number.